Okay, Sports Inquirer here with Mariana Brambilla from Georgia Tech Volleyball. The team is coming off two consecutive wins over Florida State. Overall impressions of how the team performed to earn the victories.
I think we performed really well. We could use our strategy and we could do what the coaches were asking us. So I think it was our performance was better than against Miami. We had those 2 weeks of practice, so we could improve a lot of things that we saw we should after the game, the first games. So I think overall was good, but we still have a lot of things to improve and a lot of things that we want to fix for the next game.
Do you feel more comfortable as a team now that you've played a few matches and are now on the court more consistently than you were in the beginning of the year?
Yes, yes, because this year was very different. So we didn't have to practice and play in the summer. We didn't have to play in March that we were gonna travel to Brazil this year to play, and we couldn't because of the COVID. So it was very different when we came back. Like I couldn't, me and Julia, we couldn't do the preseason with the team. So it was very challenging to get this rhythm really quick. But I think now we're much more comfortable as a team, as a whole, to play with each other again and to adjust with the rhythm of the game. So I think it was challenging, but I think we are going through it.
Did you stay in the United States over the summer? Did you go back home to Brazil? Or what was the preseason like for you?
So in March, when I heard that we would not be able to stay on campus, I went back to Brazil. It was a hard decision for me because I didn't know for how long I would stay there. I thought it was only gonna be 2 weeks or something, and I ended up only coming back in August. Is August? Yeah. So yeah, I stayed there and I practiced. We would receive the workouts. We would do Zoom calls with the team every time, and I could find a place to practice with my dad. So I could find a court, but only me and my dad could be there because of COVID. And then I came back. Me and Julia, we had to go to Mexico and quarantine for 14 days in order to get back to the United States. So we practice in the sand and we try to stay moving all the time and do the workout. And then we could come back.
Wow, that's a lot that you had to do. But you've had a double double each match, so it's been working out for you so far this year. Did you say you worked out in the sand and had to go train a little bit differently? Did you pick up anything from that that you may use in the future? Because you're off to a very good start individually this year.
I don't really know. I think more of movimentation. We did in the sand because we couldn't find for those 14 days an actual court. And but when we came back here, we had to stay 14 days again in quarantine at Tech. So we kind of lost a little bit of this work. But then we did a really good job with Scott and in practice. And I think we could pick it up little by little until
And what's the day like for you now? We just talked off camera. You're off campus right now. Do you have any classes on campus? Is everything online? Do you just
no,
set
it's everything. Sorry.
no? What's the typical day like for you now? That's different than a normal year.
So I'm doing my psychology classes right now, and they are all online. So I normally wake up. We have treatment in the morning. So I walk into the AA, which is the athletic place, and then I watch my classes all on my computer, and then I go to the gym. But in this time, we're literally just going from the gym to our apartment and staying on our own the most time possible because we don't want to get COVID.
Sure, sure. And then lastly, you mentioned you're doing well this year as a team, but you want to improve on some things. What are you working to improve on before you face Wake Forest later on this week?
Like for me personally, I want to improve like my block, my defense, and also like try to not make mistakes. I think like everything. I think we just like have all the things to improve, and like as a team, and like always like find something to be better than we were yesterday. So yeah.
Yeah. And actually, this will be my last thing because I was thinking about it. We've spoken since you were a freshman. Now you're a junior. What's it like now being an upperclassman and having more experience not only in with Georgia Tech but in the United States?
I think it's become like much more easier like to communicate with people and to understand the culture and how is the game, how we practice, the things I can do to help the others and how the other girls are gonna help me. So I think it's just like everything becomes much easier, like much because in my freshman year everything was like new, everything was so different and I was like figuring out so many stuff about here and now it's just like I know how it works. I know what I have to do and I know how hard it is to play. I know like how good the teams are. So and like how challenging everything is. So I think it's just like we learn how to be here.